is not uncommon for investors to be drawn to popular investment types such as stocks or bonds. These investment vehicles are suitable for beginners and offer attractive margins. However, savvy investors should always consider diversifying their portfolios with alternative investments. With the emergence of alternative assets, the investment arena is brimming with options like never before. Diversification and higher returns define the essence of alternative investments, and one needs to put in thorough due diligence before parking funds in them. And that brings us to today's topic. What are alternative investments?
Welcome to the Enriched Adult, the place that helps lay the foundation for future success. And we hope this video will inspire you and bring value to your life. Before we continue, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification button so you don't miss any videos. Also, feel free to leave a comment. We will reply directly to the first few of you who write to us. And check out the links in the description box. Now, let's get started. What is an alternative investment? An alternative investment is an investment in assets different from cash, stocks, and bonds. It can be investments in tangible assets such as precious metals, wine, art, or NFTs. They can be investments in financial assets such as private equity, distressed securities, and hedge funds. They tend to show a low correlation with traditional investments. They are typically defined as any investment outside of stocks and bonds, and they cover a broad array of investment options ranging from tangible assets like art, antiques, wine, stamps, and coins to financial assets like private equity in businesses, derivatives, commodities, and venture capital. Here are a few characteristics of alternative investments: high return potential, low or no correlation to the stock market. Why invest in alternative investments? There are several reasons for investors to consider adding alternative assets to their portfolio. To start with, some alternative asset classes, such as collectibles, have historically generated strong returns which make them an attractive investment opportunity. Moreover, there are plenty of alternative assets that have no correlation to the performance of the stock market, which means that if the stock market goes down, it does not have an impact on the value of these assets. This can help diversify your investment portfolio and smooth out the returns. Alternative investments are seen as a way to diversify against potential downturns in the valuation of the traditional investments. They are subject to vastly different market forces, and thus it is entirely possible for one to go up in value while the other goes down, and vice versa. How do I get into alternative investments? Education. Do not go into anything you do not understand. You have to do your due diligence before investing in anything. Spend time searching eBay, reading articles, talking to people who know the game. Long-term versus short-term plays. You should be thinking about these types of investments with the long-term in mind. Like anything else, these are about trends. Invest in things you understand. The reason so many people lose money is because they do not know what they are doing. Please do not invest until you have done your due diligence and educated yourself on the alternative investment of your choice. Invest in things you believe in. When you don't understand something, you lack conviction. When you lack conviction, you cannot make sound investment decisions and you risk being swayed by FOMO, also known as fear of missing out. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't be frivolous with your money. Never do things that you can't afford to lose, and understand that very few things are completely sure. Be practical about what you want to invest in and don't romanticize it. Here are some examples of the different types of alternative investments. Real estate. Real estate is one of the most traditional forms of alternative investments. Not only can investors benefit from the potential increase in value of the properties, but they can also generate an income from collecting rent. Aside from buying an entire property, various platforms have made it possible to own fractions of properties or make loans to property developers. Private equity and venture capital. Private equity means investing in private companies not listed on the stock market. It could entail investing in more traditional businesses like a restaurant group or a high-growth technology startup. Startup investing has slowly opened up to retail investors via startup crowdfunding platforms. Tangible assets and collectibles. Tangible assets span a wide range of items, from collectible whiskey bottles to classic cars and vintage watches to trading cards. As most of these items are produced in small quantities and items such as cars are used or wine consumed, supply reduces over time, making each item rarer. As the demand from avid collectors and wealthy millionaires remains strong, it means there will always be buyers willing to pay top dollar for rare items. Some examples are fine wine, precious metals, stamps, antiques, NFTs, sports cards, comic books, 80s and 90s pop culture memorabilia, and sneakers, just to name a few. P2P lending. With P2P lending, you lend out money to individuals or businesses who pay you back over time with interest. With some platforms, you pick a specific business or individual to loan money to, and in other cases, the platform allocates your investment amount across a number of borrowers. An advantage of P2P lending is that returns can be predictable, more predictable than a volatile stock market, but there is always a risk of default or non-payment. Digital assets. There are various types of digital assets you can invest in. You're likely familiar with investing in cryptocurrency, but this is not the only option when it comes to investing in digital assets. Other asset classes like music royalties are gaining momentum with professional investors, as this asset class can provide a steady income stream. Some funds investing in music royalties are listed publicly, enabling retail investors to get access. We'll end off by saying, alternative investments can be a great way to diversify your portfolio and generate returns. However, as with any investment, it's important to remember that historical returns don't guarantee future results. Besides considering the financial risks, other factors to look out for specifically when it comes to alternatives are whether there are any minimum amounts involved and whether investments can be sold easily. Do not buy these assets with the same mindset or expectations that you would have of stocks. Understand that there could be a worst case scenario where you could not easily sell an alternative investment. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments what works for you so we can enrich our community while we do it. Click subscribe and the notification bell if this video added value to your life, as you do to ours. Until next time, let's live the enriched life.